Hi, High School family. Today we are going to use our pumpkins that we got from our pumpkin patch, and we're going to do some cool stuff with it. We're going to kind of explore with our pumpkins. Now, what you need before you start this video with me is you need your magnifying glass. Now, yours is clear and smaller. I'm using a bigger one so you guys can see it a little bit better when I'm using it. And then you'll also need your pipette, which is in, both of them are in your bin, your take-home kit bins, okay? And then you'll also need a small cup of water. You won't need much. This is actually a lot. I won't even need this much. And then your pumpkin, and that's all you need. Oh, I'm sorry, and a leaf. If you have a leaf, you can go outside and get one. And if you have a pine cone, now if you do not have a pine cone, that is okay, because I'm gonna show you with my pine cone, okay? All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about our pumpkins, and we're gonna kind of look at them, okay? I'm gonna try and lower this so that you can see my pumpkin. Now I have two here. Can you see them? There we go. Let's move this glass of water. Now I have two pumpkins, and the reason I have two pumpkins with me today is because I wanted to show you some stuff on them. Now the first pumpkin I have here, what do you notice about this pumpkin? What color is it? You can use your magnifying glass if you need to see closer. See how it makes it bigger? What do you notice about the color of this pumpkin? It has green on it, doesn't it? It has green and what other color? Orange, right? Now a lot of our pumpkins are orange, but sometimes pumpkins can be green, sometimes they can be white, sometimes they can be yellow, and when they're rotten, which means they're bad, they're turning black. So this pumpkin is green and orange. I wanted to show you that because I thought that was kind of cool. You'll have to take your magnifying glass and look on yours. Do you have any green spots on yours or any green parts? Let's see. And this is how you use a magnifying glass. When you use a magnifying glass, you're going to hold it here and then keep your head where it belongs, kind of halfway between you and what you're looking at. And you can kind of move and you'll see it makes it bigger and easier to see things. It's very cool. Look at that. I see the green on mine. Now this pumpkin is orange. It's all orange all the way around. But the reason I brought this pumpkin is because look at what it has on it. This is part of a pumpkin vine. Pumpkins, when they first start, you plant the seed, and then the seed grows into a pumpkin flower, and then it grows into a vine, and then the pumpkin grows out from the pumpkin flower. Now this used to be a vine. This used to be a pumpkin vine. It's dried out now because it was picked up off the ground. So it's dried out now, but it is still the pumpkin vine. Does your pumpkin have a vine on it? Now this part here, this is the stem. It would be coming out of the stem. Do you see how it's coming out of mine? Yeah, does yours have that? If not, go ahead and use your magnifying glass and you can look at my pumpkin vine. Do you see it? What do you see on there? What does it look like? To me, it looks like a corn husk, kind of. That's what it reminds me of. It's not a corn husk, it's a vine, but that's what it looks like to me. Pretty cool, huh? Now go ahead and take your magnifying glass and let's look at our stem. This is our stem on the pumpkin. We're gonna look at that. And what do you see? I see all kinds of lines and colors. What do you see? I'm gonna look at this one, see if it's any different. It is different. I see more colors on this one and spots. What do you see on your pumpkin stems? Are your pumpkin stems different? That is so cool. Now we're gonna look at our leaf. Now we're gonna come back to our pumpkins, okay? But first we're gonna look at our leaf. So I'm gonna go ahead and move my pumpkins right over here so they're not in our way. Okay, now I have a little leaf. I found this leaf outside of our classroom door. It's a little leaf, it's brown. Now leaves can be different colors too. They can be yellow, or orange or green. Sometimes they're purple. And when it starts to change, the weather's starting to change like it is now, when it gets colder and when the leaves get cold, they start to turn brown and sometimes even black. And that means that they are cold and they are getting ready for winter. So this leaf is starting to get cold. It's turning brown because it fell off of the tree. And you'll see that lots of leaves are falling off of our trees. And that's because it is getting to be winter time pretty soon. Right now we're in the fall, and before we were in summer, but now we are going into winter. And when winter comes, we don't have leaves on our trees. They all fall off. We're going to use our magnifying glass again on our leaves. So go ahead and get your magnifying glass and look at your leaf. And what do you see on your leaf? Do you see a line that kind of goes down the middle? Do you see that? Yeah. And do you see other little lines coming out of it? Yeah. Do you know what those are called? There's a special name for those lines. Those are called veins. Veins. Now, if you look at your arm, go ahead and roll up your sleeve if you're wearing long sleeves like me. Now you'll see, it's kind of hard to see in my camera, but do you see those blue lines in your arm? Those are veins, and that's where your blood is. Your blood is in your veins. And that is what's on our leaf. Now they don't have blood like we do, but they do have veins. They have veins in there, and you can see their veins, and it's pretty cool. What else do you see on your leaf? Does your leaf have any tears or rips? Mine does not, but mine does have some spots on it. I wonder why mine has spots on it. That is something we could look up for Wonder Wednesday. Maybe I'll do that for this Wonder Wednesday. What do you see on yours though? What color is your leaf? Do you see other colors on there? Go ahead and use your magnifying glass and look really well at it. It's pretty cool. All right, and does your leaf look like mine? Because leaves come in all different kinds of sizes and shapes, so they might be different than mine too. Like I said, I just found mine outside of our classroom door. It was on the ground. I thought it was a great leaf, so I picked it up. All right, the next thing we're gonna look at is our pine cone. Now you might not have a pine cone by your house, and if you do not, that is okay. I'm gonna hold it up for you to look at. Now what do you see on that pine cone? What do you see on there? What color is it? It's brown, isn't it? And there's all these little pieces here, all on our pine cone. And they're very fragile. They can break apart. So I'm being very careful when I hold it because I don't want it to fall apart. This is a pine cone. It's very cool. Now these grow on pine trees. So you have to live near a pine tree to see them. Now, I live near a pine tree. There's a pine tree in my neighbor's yard, and I asked him if I could have a pine cone off of it, and he told me yes. So I asked before I took my pine cone. He said it was okay. He wanted you guys to see it. But this is a pine cone. A pine cone, and it has many layers. Do you see that? It has many layers on it, which means things are on top of one another. Lots of layers on our pine cone. Okay. Back to our pumpkins, okay? I'm gonna get this pumpkin over here. I'm just gonna use the one. Like I said, I only had two because I wanted to show you guys that that one had a pumpkin vine on it and this one has some green on it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna take our water and our pipette. Now how you use a pipette is you're gonna squeeze the top when you put it into the water. And then you're gonna slowly let it go. Now don't let go of it like that because then it'll drop. So you just want to unsqueeze your fingers, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put water on our pumpkin. What do you think is going to happen when we put water on our pumpkin? Do you think it's going to grow? Do you think it's gonna go inside of it and absorb? Absorb is a big word. That means like when you put water on your skin, you know, sometimes it runs off, but not all of it does it? Because some of it absorbs into your skin. Your skin kind of sucks it in because it wants that water. Do you think that'll happen on here, on our pumpkin skin? Let's see. So do you think it'll grow if we put water on it? Or do you think it'll absorb the water? Or do you think it'll roll off? Do you think it won't grow? What do you think? Go ahead and tell me what you think. I'm going to go ahead and get my water. You can get yours too while we think. If you need some more time to think, you can go ahead and pause our video, okay? So I'm going to squeeze it, put it in my water, just like this. I'll hold it up for you guys. And then I'm going to slowly unsqueeze my fingers. I'm not going to let go, just unsqueeze. And if you look, you can see there's water in there. Can you see that? Kind of hard to see, but there is water in there. And if you squeeze the top back into your cup, look, it squeezes the water out. Now go ahead and fill your pipette up, and we're gonna put it on our pumpkin. Are you ready to see what happens? Okay, you can do it with me. Go ahead and drop it on there. What's it doing? Mine is just kind of sitting on top. It's just sitting there. What happens if you put some on your stem, your pumpkin stem? Put some water on there. Did it do anything? What happened? Let's add some more water. Let's try and add it on our side. Here, I'll put it in front so you can see it. What did it do? It just rolled right off. Now, if you can see on the top of my pumpkin, the water, you see that, is just sitting there. It's not absorbing, it's not rolling off, it is just sitting on top. Now, I thought it was gonna roll off the sides, but it just sat right on top. What did you think? Did yours do what you thought it was gonna do? How cool. Now, do you think it's going to grow because we put water on it? No, unfortunately it is not. But pumpkins only grow when they are on their vine. When they get picked off of their vine, they stop growing. So our pumpkins are done growing, but I thought it would be kind of cool to see. All right, friends. Well, thank you for joining me on our experiment with our pumpkins and our leaves. And you got to see a pine cone. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know what happens with your pumpkin, okay? And if you have any of the different parts, maybe you have a green pumpkin, maybe you have some yellow, orange, or a white pumpkin. I don't think we had any white pumpkins, but maybe yours has a spot on there that's white. I don't know. You'll have to use your magnifying glass and look really close. You'll have to see what else you see on your pumpkin. Like I'm looking right now, even without my magnifying glass, I can see that there's scratches on my pumpkin and little bumps. Maybe yours has that too. And the stem, remember the stems are different. This stem still has a piece of vine on it, and this one does not. This one does not have a vine on it still, but this one does. It's dried up, but it's still there. It is pretty cool. And this one is different. This one is all orange. There's no green on this pumpkin. There's a little spot of yellow right here, but that's it, no green. And I don't see as many scratches on this pumpkin. This one's more smooth, and this one's more bumpy, or it has more ridges, which are these lines right here, these ridges. Is yours smooth, or does it have ridges like this one? See, pumpkins can be very different from one another. But I thought it would be cool to use our magnifying glasses and our pipettes today. And pipettes are very important to use for science. We don't want to use them as a toy. They're not for shooting water out of or anything like that. They're just for sciences, because you guys are scientists. So you got to handle them like scientists, okay? All right, friends, I'm very proud of you for your work today. I'm so excited to see what you did with your pumpkins and what your pumpkin looks like and things like that, okay? All right, my friends, I will see you soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.